Hello everyone, my name is Erin and I'm the chair of the Southern Branch of the Irish Patchwork Society. In 2015, we started our Block of the Month series, and I designed not only that quilt, but the quilt in the 2016 Block of the Month series as well. Our members have found that the slideshow presentations that I created and showed during the meetings have been really helpful. So my project over the summer is to create slideshow presentations for those blocks that we didn't do because we didn't have a projector for our meeting at those times. So this is the second block that I'm going to show. This is the Churn Dash block. You can go to our website at www.ipscork.com and download the information, the assembly instructions for not only this block, but all of the blocks, and then the quilt assembly instructions as well. So you can find that there. So let's get started with showing you how to make the Churn Dash. This was our March block. It's created at making two units, a half square triangle unit and a rectangle unit. So for the cutting instructions, from the background fabric, which in my example I used white, you're going to need two 5.5-inch squares, one 4.5-inch square, one 2.5-inch strip that is 19 inches long, or if you don't have that and you're just using scraps, you can use 4 pieces that are 2.5 by 4.5 inches long. From the half square triangle unit fabric, which in our example is going to be the red fabric, you're going to cut two 5.5-inch squares. And then from the rectangle unit fabric, which in our example is going to be that blue fabric, it's going to be one 2.5-inch strip that is 19 inches long, or if you're just using scraps, you need 4 pieces that are 2.5 by 4.5 inches long. We're going to start out by constructing the half square triangle units, and you can create the half square triangles in the method that you prefer. This is the method that I prefer, so I'm going to show this way to you. But whichever method you use, the half square triangle you create just needs to be 4.5 inches square when you're finished. So using those 5.5-inch squares, you're going to take your marking pen of choice and draw a line from corner to corner. And then you're going to lay this piece of fabric on top of that background 5.5-inch square. And you'll do this with both squares that you have, both 5.5-inch squares. And then with both of those pieces, you're going to sew 1/4 inch away from that line on both sides. So you're going to create 2 rows of stitching. And then once you finish the stitching, you're going to cut on the line and press open. And when you're done pressing open, you're going to take your ruler and just trim that half square triangle to 4.5 inches. And again, you're going to repeat that with the second 5.5-inch squares for a total of 4 half square triangles. Then once you have those complete, you're going to set those aside and then construct the rectangle units. In my example, I used the strips. So I took my 2.5-inch strips and I sewed them together and pressed open. And then from that strip set, I cut units that were 4.5 inches long. Again, if you're using just pieces that are 2.5 by 4.5 inches long, you're just going to want to sew those together and then consistently press those in the same direction. And I think in this example, I pressed towards that blue, the blue floral fabric. So once you have all of the units together, you're going to arrange them in the block design using this photo as a guide. You have the 4 half square triangle units in the corners, and then those rectangle units in the middle of those half square triangle units, and then the solid white square in the center. Once you do that, you're going to sew all the units in the row together, and you're going to press your seams in alternate directions. So in that top row, looks like I pressed my seams toward the center unit. In the middle row, I pressed those seams towards the outside units. And in the bottom row, I press the seams toward the inside units. And that just makes it really easy to nest those seams together and create precise intersections. Once you have everything pressed open, you're going to sew your rows together and then press that open, and your block is done. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email us at corkips@gmail.com, or you can find all the materials for this block of the month and all of the block of the months that we've created so far at our website at ipscork.com. And we update that pretty frequently with all sorts of news and information. So go ahead and check it out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you for the next block of the month.